Hello guys, in today's video we will learn about loops. What is loop? So loop is one of the programming concept and we use loop to perform a repetitive task or repeated task. So in our example, one of the repeating tasks is setting the street light in left side and right side of the road. So I have to place lots of street lights. So I can do it in two ways. One is by dragging and dropping the street light prefab on the road, drag and drop. And second way is programmatically I can use instantiate function to instantiate or create a new game object. So that game object I have to create multiple times throughout the road. So these tasks, it can be like, yeah, these are repeated tasks and either I do it manually or using instantiate function also, but I have to call that function multiple times. So this is a repeating task, and to perform repeating tasks in programming we use loops. So we'll see what is loop and how it works. So before this we have learned a concept of if and else also we have seen. So how does if work is, you have this if syntax and inside this you place a condition, and if this condition is true then whatever is inside the if block do something. So whatever is inside the if block, that is performed only once. That is important. Whatever is inside the if block, that is performed only once. Whereas there is another concept, which is loop concept, and there are many kind of loop. First we will check the simplest or easy to understand loop, which is called while loop. So the syntax of while loop is while and then you put some condition, and if the condition is true then whatever is inside some task. So whatever is inside this block, while block, so that is performed, but that is not performed once, that will keep on performing. So whatever code is inside this while loop, that will keep on executing unless this condition becomes false or the condition outcome becomes false. So this loop, this can run only once or may not run or may run multiple times based on the condition inside it. But in case of if block, if the condition is satisfied, this block or the code inside if block is executed only once. In case of while loop, while the condition is satisfied, while the condition is true or the outcome of condition is true, this will keep on executing, or this task will be performed, we will keep on performing this task as long as the condition is true. So we'll see this example in code. And how do you provide a condition? So condition like conditional statement. So one of the conditional statement is 10 is greater than 9. This symbol is called greater than. So this is one conditional statement. Write the entire code. So if 10 is greater than 9, then perform something. Maybe put some debug.log message. Debug.log and yes, 10 is greater than 9. Similarly, we can write the same thing for while loop as well. So while, and then we have to put the condition. I'll put the same condition while 10 is greater than 9. So yes, the outcome of this expression will be true. That again, I can put any statement, any task, or any instruction. I'll again put some debug message. Debug dot log, and in this print indefinite times. So what will happen is, since this condition is always true, so this will keep on executing always. If block, if the condition is satisfied, it runs only, it executes the task or instruction inside it only once. Whereas the while loop, it executes the instructions inside it multiple times, like always, unless this condition fails. So instead of this, what we in real world what we try is like okay, let's see this example in code first. So in our game setup, we have this write streetlight creator, and on this we have a script which is streetlight creator 1. So we'll go to that, which has X position also. Go to that script. Okay, and in this script we have this for loop. I will delete it for now. Okay, so inside this creator, in the update method, we know that start and update method are special methods. These methods are called by Unity. Start method is called when the game starts, and update method is called every few milliseconds. So this method is called continuously by Unity. So these are special methods, whereas the methods that we create, those are not special because we have to call them. Unity doesn't call those methods. And here I had written some code that if I have a if block, and if block, it says that in the input, if someone press R button, then run this code, which is 3 lines of instruction. First instruction is uh, instantiate a prefab, which is our street light, increase the value of Z, and put the Z value. So this is some existing code. I will not touch this code. We will work on this thing, start method. So this instantiate part, I will put it in if what we can say, if z value is greater than or less than, this symbol is for less than. So if this is less than 0, which is true because this is minus 95, so it is less than 0. So what we'll do, we'll perform this instruction. And below this, I will write something. I'll write a while loop. And in the while loop also, I'll put the same thing, same code. First of all, I'll comment out this part. Let's check how it works. Z value is 95, and in our game scene we already have a street light, and this is street light creator. In the start method we have written that if Z value is less than 95, which is correct. So this outcome of this expression is true. So this will execute and it will create a street light. And we can see that one more light is created, and this light is created by code. Our light is a bit higher than the ground, and this is kind of inside the ground. So this is created because of our if block condition was true. Now what I'm going to do is I will comment out this part. So now as told that while loop, it continuously execute all the statements which is inside the while block as long as this condition is true. So we'll run this, and since 95 z value is 95, which is less than 0, and it will always remain 0, sorry, it will always remain less than 0 unless we change the value, but no one is changing the value. So what will happen, this will run indefinite times, like infinite times it will run unless we stop the program. So let's see what will happen. I don't know what is going to happen. So and it will run, the code will run very fast. So I don't know how many street lights it's going to create. It may happen that my Unity will hang. It will become not non-responsive. Okay, so I'll play the game. Not sure what is going to happen. So the while loop will try to create lots of street light at the same position because it will continuously run in for indefinite times, because the while loop condition is always true. Z value is always less than 0 unless we change it. Okay. Okay, has taken a lot of time. The play has not started yet. Not sure what's going on behind this. Okay, so something is happening. We can see that my RAM is continuously increasing, or RAM consumption is continuously increasing. 3000, 350, 369. So some objects are getting created, but it is not showing because of my infinite loop. We cannot see anything here, but lots of object, and game is not able to start because at the play, when you play the game, then only the game starts. I'll stop the game to stop crashing my computer. I don't know if I'll be able to stop it, so I have to close this program itself. Close Unity in task. Yeah, so you can see that my RAM uses are 95. Operation could not complete, which is great. Don't care. Now my RAM usage is going down, down and down. My CPU usage will also go down. So it was continuously creating some object, but it was not able to show it because once uh, once the start method complete, then only the game starts. So in the start method only I had an infinite loop, so it was kind of going into the infinite loop. So we don't use while loop the same way we use if block. So while loop has three things. Uh, so while loop, or for the loops, we have three things, like in if block you put some condition. If the condition is true, it will execute once. If condition is false, it will not execute whatever is inside the if block. But for loops, we have three things. One is initialization, Second is loop condition. There will be four thing. Loop body. This I refer as if block body, and this part we will refer as this thing we will refer as loop body. Whatever instruction we put inside the loop. And fourth, the very important thing is loop condition update. So in our case, we had the condition z value is less than 0, which was true. It was minus 95, but it will remain minus 95, which is it will remain less than 0 unless we change it. And if we don't change it, means while loop will keep on running and running. So loop condition update is one of the mandatory thing. So what we should do is we should change the value, and in this case, since it was less than z value was less than 0, so we should increase the value after each loop completion. Like each time this loop execute these statements, we should increment the value of z, so that after some time z value should cross 0, should be greater than 0, so that my loop will end. This condition will become false. So how it works is the code executes from top to bottom. So it comes to the while loop, then it checks whether this condition is true. If the condition is true, then it goes in, it executes all the statement one by one, and after that it goes back. It goes back and again checks whether the condition is true. If the condition is true, again it executes all the lines, and then again it goes back. So what we do is at the end of it we put loop. So this fourth part we put it at the end of the loop, that you should update it. So in my case it should be z value is equals to whatever the z value is plus some value, maybe 5 or 10. So we should put this loop condition update inside the loop body, so that once it has done the task, then it should update the condition, so that loop will not run for the infinite time. It should stop after some execution. So fourth step should come here. This is our body, which is third step. This is our loop condition, second, and loop initialization, which is kind of, in our case it is z value is equals to minus 95. So this is where we initialized it. This was my z value is in my condition, and this is my initialization. So I initialize some value, then I checking the condition. If this value is less than 0, yes, then execute all the statement and then increase the value. In this case I should increase the value so that it should stop, and after some time it should become greater than 0. So which is what we will do. Before that I will start the project. So my game didn't start, because once the start method is complete, then only the game starts. And in the start method only I had an infinite loop, so it was continuously creating new street lights, and that street light was taking my RAM, and my RAM uses went up to 95 and more than 95. So I'll start this, and meanwhile I'll update this. So this is part of condition, loop condition check. Here it does loop condition check. This is part of my loop body. I will also add one debug statement here, which is also part of again loop body. And at the end, most important, I should update the loop condition so that it should not run for infinite times. So it will be z value is equals to z value plus maybe 5 to 5. This is my important step, which is loop condition update. And here I have initialized kind of condition. This I will mark it as 2. This will mark as part of 3, which is loop body. This I will mark it as 4. If you guys remember, this is comment, and our computer ignore these comments. But I am putting it just for readability, just for more understand it better. But these are comment lines, and these are ignored by computer. They don't care about these things. Whatever you put after double slash. So now I have this loop. While loop will not run infinitely, indefinitely. It will start with minus 95 value, and then each time it executes the body. After that, it will update z value, and it will add 5 to it. So it will become minus 90, then minus 85, minus 80, and after some time it will become minus 10, minus 5, and then it will become 0. And at that time when this value becomes 0, z value becomes 0, so this condition is no longer true. This condition is no longer true because 0 is not less than 0. So 0 is equals to 0, but 0 is not less than 0. Or yeah, so this will become false, and as soon as this condition outcome will become false, this loop will not run anymore. So this will not run anymore, and this program will start executing below. So now with this code I'll play and check. And now we can see that my game started. My game started, and it's not going in infinite loop and all. Just see in small screen. So we can see that my game started and has put lots of light, and it is putting light till the z index is. So I'll check the last light. So this is our last light, and its z index is minus 5. So till minus 5, minus 10. So for these z indexes or z values, it has put a street light. But after this, it hasn't put any street light because our condition, the condition where z value becomes 0, so which is not less than 0 is not less than 0, so it fails to satisfy, and that's why the code stops. So what I will do is I will update the condition. Maybe I'll make this 90. So run this when the z value is less than 90 instead of 0. So 90. Now let's check what happens. So we'll play the game. And now we can see that some more lights are there in the scene. And we'll check some of the last street lights. So this is my last street light, and its value is 85. So we are incrementing the z value by 5. It started from minus 95, so 85. This will be 80, 75 and all. So it goes till here. If I want street light to be generated beyond this also, maybe I'll put it 100. So this is our while loop. syntax, you can say it is similar to if block. Instead of if, you write a while and there's a condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then whatever is inside is executed. The problem here is if block is executed only once, and after that it goes down and it start executing whatever code is written below. But loops, they go back and again check the condition. If the condition is satisfied, then again it will execute it. So that's why it is called loop. So it goes back. So you guys should try creating loops, creating loop and maybe multiple script to create street light on multiple sides of the road, and maybe put the dividers that I had done. So put dividers in between the road, or maybe some barricades at side of the road, which I have also done. Some barricades I have put along the side of the road. You can try all those things using loop, and you don't have to do this manually. Using while loop, we can perform this repetitive task easily. So with this much line of code only, this is also not required. So with this much line of code only, we are able to put lots of street lights.
If I want to create the street light in the left side, so what I can do is I can quickly create a duplicate of it. I'll rename it, call it left street light creator. We'll remove the one, and in place of X position, I will change the X position to opposite side of the road, which will be minus, let me check, with minus 4.65. So I'll save it and I will run the game. Now both sides it should create the street light, but the street light will be facing opposite of the road, like maybe this side. Yeah, so for that we might need to create another street light, another prefab for, and which will be facing opposite of this. So for that I may need to create another prefab. So what I'll do, I'll just duplicate this light prefab and then change the rotation of the pole to opposite of it. Yeah, that will be homework for you guys. Create a left side street light. So it can be done in multiple ways. Let's see your creativity, which method you choose.